Alright guys, Papa Pepper back again. Not trying to make enemies, not trying to make friends, but just trying to share real thoughts about real things. Coming up near the end of this week on what they call Good Friday. Personally, I believe for the most part there's nothing good about Good Friday. And I certainly don't believe it's when Jesus Christ was crucified whatsoever at all. I think it's just one of the things where we see show up, I think, in Catholicism first, and then the tradition just stays alive regardless of what the truth actually is. And I believe at the Reformation, the protesters, the Protestants, tried to reform the Catholic Church to make it more biblically accurate. What we needed was a restoration, not a reformation. So I don't believe at all in Good Friday. And I'll point out two reasons to you. Number one is that if you're going to believe that Jesus Christ is the Messiah, that he's the sin-free Lamb of God, that he never sinned, you take a situation like this. This comes from Matthew chapter 12, starting at verse 38. It says, "Then certain of the scribes and the Pharisees answered, saying, Master, we would see a sign from thee. But he answered and said unto them, An evil and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign. There shall be no sign given to it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. For as Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the whale, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth." So Jesus, I believe here, prophesying of his death, burial, and resurrection, says 3 days and 3 nights. Now we know he was raised on the first day of the week. We know that. So if he's killed Friday at some point, and then at sundown Saturday would start, and then the night first, then Saturday the day, and then Sunday he's up. You don't have 3 days and 3 nights between there. You don't even have part of 3 days and 3 nights. So at that point, if you're going to believe in Good Friday, and that's when Jesus Christ was killed, and that he rose again on the first day of the week on Sunday, the Jesus you believe in is a liar, and he's not the Messiah. Now, interestingly, the reason that I believe something completely different comes from the Old Testament, because I don't believe, God exists outside the realm of the time, so I don't believe that Jesus Christ was based on the Passover lamb at all. I believe the Passover lamb was based on Jesus Christ. Okay? And I don't believe that Jesus ruined a type of Christ. Okay? What I believe here, this starts in Exodus chapter 12. It says, you shall speak, verse 3, "Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, In the 10th day of this month you shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for a house." So on the 10th of the month, they would have to take a lamb into the house. Verse 6 says, "And you shall keep it until the 14th day of the same month. The whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening." Let's just talk about the Passover lamb. It says the 10th day, take it into your house. The 14th day, kill it in the evening. So I believe that what we call Palm Sunday, what they call Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem, that happened on the first day of the week. That was the week, 1 week prior to his resurrection, which also happened on the first day of the week. I believe that was likened unto every man taking the lamb into his house. That just like the people in the Old Testament were commanded at this point, the children of Israel, they're coming out of Egypt. This is the first time we see the Passover being commanded, that they would take the lamb into their house on the 10th of the month. And then on the 14th, they would kill it. I believe when Jesus entered Jerusalem, that was like the 10th of the month. So if we have Sunday being the 10th, then we have Monday the 11th, Tuesday the 12th, Wednesday the 13th, and then Thursday the 14th, I believe. Let's think, what if Jesus was killed on the 14th day of the month? So we'll call that Thursday. And if we go with the night first, that sundown Wednesday would start Thursday, and then you'd have the day, what we call Thursday, being the second part of that. So he'd be in the grave before evening that day. Then we'd have Friday starting at sundown, and then you'd have Friday during the day. You'd have Saturday starting at sundown on Friday, and then Saturday during the day, and then you'd have Sunday starting at sundown. And they got there early in the morning, he was already gone. Well, if he's in on Thursday during the day, and then Friday during the night, Friday during the day, Saturday during the night, Saturday during the day, and then Sunday during the night, that's 3 days and 3 nights. Okay? So I think we've got the 10th, we've got the 14th. If that's what we call Palm Sunday to the crucifixion, well, it says the next day was a Sabbath, right? It says the next day was. Well, the day after the Passover, 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread, starts the Feast of Unleavened Bread. The first day there shall be a holy convocation unto the Lord. It would be a Sabbath, a periodical Sabbath. That would be on that Friday while he was in the grave. Then there would be the weekly Sabbath. Then the people didn't show up to the grave till Sunday. Why? Because there were Sabbaths before that. That's just what I believe. It certainly makes the Passover lamb make sense. It certainly provides some insight into Jesus Christ. It certainly makes him not a liar. And then just like Moses was commanded to strike the rock the first time and then ask it the second time. Well, he struck the rock the second time. He didn't get to enter the promised land because he ruined a type of Christ. I don't think Jesus Christ ruined a type of Jesus Christ. In fact, I don't think Jesus was based on the Passover lamb at all. I believe the Passover lamb was based on Jesus Christ. So anyway, that's what I believe. That's what I believe about the 10th and the 14th day. That's what I believe about the 3 days, 3 nights. That's why I don't believe in Good Friday at all. And for what it's worth, I could go a lot deeper and do a lot more, but just in a snippet, it's what I believe and why. All right, pop out.